All right. Looks like we're about back.
Hello.
Hello. Kyle, you good over there?
Hello.
All good.
Wonderbar. Bo, hold on 1 second. So it's recording. Bet. All right. We're good. And we're back. Bo Schwartz, take it away.
All right, so you've just flown up into the hole. And you're now there when the one guard yells, look at that effing dragon. And immediately the dwarves spring into action. You remember Scrolly, who you talked to last time. You see him standing right in the middle between some piles. There's torchlight in this room, so it's well lit. And he immediately taps on the shoulder of a guy. He says, go! And that guy starts running towards the motorcycle. And then he looks at another pair of four guys and he says, get Bessie now! And four dwarves immediately take off and run into a side, towards an exit in the side room. And then he looks at the rest of the dwarves and he's like, what are you looking at me for? Shoot it! And then the remaining dwarves, about 7 in total, immediately unsheath their rifles and start fumbling as they get their weapons ready. Let's roll for initiative.
No!
All right.
Jeez.
Yeah.
18.
1.
Oh my gosh.
19.
Natural 1.
6.
6 for Hope. Sorry, 1 for Nash. What did you say, Stanley?
18.
And Varel?
19.
Okay. All right. So you see this before you, Varel, and it's your turn to act. And you begin to feel the form underneath you change. Specifically, Nash is starting to shrink again.
All right, there was the leader.
The leader standing, Scrolly, Oilbeard, standing in the center of the room, yelling out instructions.
All right, I will slide off the dragon onto the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And I will charge him.
Sorry, I'm just doing a bit of drawing here. Sorry, just so I have a sense. All right, perfect. Okay, so you're going to jump off and charge directly at him. So just before you do so, just to get a sense of the lay of the room, he was circled speaking with dwarves when you had entered the room. So he has the 7 dwarves rifling around for weapons within 10 feet of him.
All 7 of them, huh?
We're sleepy.
The 7 remaining dwarves. There are 4 dwarves running off to a side chamber and 1 dwarf. Did I do my math right? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, I did. It's 13 dwarves in total. Is that like Lord of the Rings now? Jeez. There's 1 dwarf running towards a motorcycle. So you're still running at him? Just I wanted to make sure you had all the information before.
Cool. Yeah, even if he's surrounded.
Okay.
Did the dismount and the run at him leave me any actions left, or is that a double move?
So you can just slide off. I'll count that as your free action for the turn. Just a quick slide onto the ground. Yeah, how many feet up is he?
Me?
How many? Yeah. So you burst it into the room. You've got this giant view of the room. I'd actually say he's about 10 or 20 feet off the ground. You're going to take some damage sliding off of him, Varel, actually.
Yeah, that's about right.
Without a plan in the current state as you're floating above.
Okay. Can I link roll? Is there a...
Well, you might be able to use something to cushion your fall, like jumping on a dwarf.
Oh.
Yeah,
I would happily land on top of them if able.
You won't reach Scrolly, but there is one that's closest to Nash that looks like you could make it. You get extra length on your jump. It's half your strength because you don't have a running start. So half what your strength is, and we'd roll a acrobatics check to see if you make it.
Cool, I'm down with it.
You get the extra range from the fall during the fall with your momentum. Cool. All right, cool. Roll acrobatics.
All right, then I will jump off towards him, enter my rage as I do, giving me the bonus roll for the athletics. Right? Did you say athletics?
I said acrobatics.
Same. I'm raging. Okay. All right, and as I jump, I will yell, "You left us to die!" And as I jump down, I enter my rage. Since I leveled up, I've changed my storm to lightning, and lightning surges through my hands, leaving a trail through the air as I fly down at this guy. Yes, natural
For
20.
Ragnarok then. Oh my
All right.
gosh.
And you know your aim is true as you do this. You're heading straight for him, and as he fumbles with his rifle, he looks up, horror in his eyes. As you connect, make your that's your acrobatics roll or your attack roll.
That was the acrobatics to land.
Let's say it's one and the same. I'm going to give it to all of you. Do the damage you're going to do with it's natural weapons, I assume, or do you have a weapon on you?
Yeah, just natural.
Okay.
That would be a. Oh wait, hang on. Oh, the sheets changed. 5 damage on him.
You rolled critical damage.
Oh, wait, is that double dice?
Double
Double
dice.
Oh,
Plus
cool.
one time your modifier and whatever you get from raging.
Okay, so unarmed strike is just a flat 5, so I guess it'd be flat 10.
Well, you roll again.
I don't roll for unarmed because it's just a flat 5.
Oh, it's just a flat 5, right?
Yeah. Only monks roll for their unarmed.
Oh, interesting. So yeah, then just double what it would be then. So 10 plus any fires.
Sweet.
Did your 5 didn't have a modifier too, right?
So you do. I think it's like it is a strength roll. So that
I thought
is
I thought it was a natural weapon, so you would get an attack roll.
right. Unarmed strike's 1 damage plus your strength. So I have a 4 plus. Oh wait, 5. Oh, because the Trask meat's still going 24 hours.
So you get let me, just to cover this, you do 1 damage plus your strength modifier. Is that right? So you would only do 2 damage. You don't double the modifier. You just double the dice roll.
Oh, okay.
In that case, but we talked about your claws being natural weapons. Didn't we allow you? Didn't we discuss this that you were rolling damage dice for your claws because they're weapons?
Only my bite as part of my lizard class is.
I think you should be rolling damage dice for your claws. Yeah, at least a 1d4. So roll 2d4. I think this should be your natural weapon. Yeah.
Sweet. All right. That is 6 plus. And I'm still under Trask meat 24 hours, right? Even with the weird.
Yeah.
So, but not that. Okay, so that's 5. So 11 points of damage.
Okay, now roll. You drop down about 20 feet, so roll an additional 2d10 of fall damage that you're going to transfer over to this guy because he's absorbing your impact.
So 6. So 17 points of damage.
Okay, so you land square on him, grab feet and hands on him, and just push into the ground as dust, just a cloud of dust just poofs out from underneath, and you feel your hands, you feel crunching under the rib cage, and you feel the rib cage pierce lung and heart, and like blood just like it's like a cough of blood. He goes and a cough of blood comes up, and his eyes are wide, and you just hear as he suffocates from blood filling in his lungs, and he's like and clearly dispatched, but not technically dead, as he just and then you get up and look at the rest of the dwarves.
And then lightning transfers through my body down into him. He gets a dex save for my lightning strike.
What, the dwarf on the ground?
Yeah, the one I'm standing on. If he
yeah, okay, you can. All right, dex save with. He can't. He fails the throw, so lightning surges into him. So he's electrocuted
14,
and
4
suffocated.
points.
Yeah, he's electrocuted, and it just hits one target. It works differently than your fire aura, right?
Right. So this strikes 1 target.
Okay. So he also now is being electrocuted, and you can smell boiling skin and flesh as he suffocates and boils under the sheer force of your strength. And the rest, the dwarves pause for a moment as they witness the horror, and they even hurriedly start like loading shells into their guns and start to take aim.
So move, attack,
bonus,
and free action. Bring around the shield.
Oh, you still have your beholder tooth shield. All right,
Yeah.
bring her out. The shield's up. But you can't do anything like it. There's an action for it. It's just your AC is going to be what it is.
Right. My
Okay.
AC is +2.
Yeah. Okay. Stanley, you witness this madness before you.
How far away is the dwarf running for the motorcycle, and how far away is the motorcycle?
Motorcycle's about 200 feet out, and the guy running for it's about 120 feet away from you.
All right, I'm going to mutter to
20 feet
myself.
down.
Mutter to myself. So much for not engaging right away, and I'm going to point my 2 fingers out at the dwarf running for the motorcycle, and I'm going to fire an Eldritch Blast at him.
I have no idea what this does.
It is
This is something you earned from your
Catobal Praith bargain magic.
Okay. Eldritch Blast. This is
So,
one action. A beam of crackling energy streaks towards a creature. Okay.
So that is going to be a 24 to hit.
Okay. You hit him with it.
Right. That is going to be 5 damage to him.
Yeah.
And 5 force damage, I should say.
Okay.
And
What does the energy look like?
So when Stanley extends his hands, it gets dark, almost like the light is just being pulled out of the room briefly. And then there's just a instant white hot flash of light that you don't even see travel. It's just like it's there and then it's gone like a lightning strike. And you just hear a loud crack.
Okay. So it hits him, and his arms stretch out wide, and his legs stretch out wide as it lifts him into the air and drops him into the sand. And then he still continues. He's like grabbing the sand, trying to like get back up, and still trying to move. But you've hit him square in the back.
And then as a bonus action, I'm going to throw my sword out. I'm guessing that there's somebody that's within 30 feet, right?
Where are you still on the dragon's back, or are you dropping off?
I'm still on the dragon's back.
Yeah, there's no one really within. The one guy that was close enough, Varel took him out for 30 feet.
Okay.
Start
then
20 feet in the air.
I'll just have the sword in my hand then.
Okay, very good. Until, maybe Nash moves closer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the 4 dwarves disappear. On the left, it's the dwarves' turn to go. So the 4 dwarves disappear into the room and immediately start pulling out this trolley. And you see it's on these wooden wheels, and there's this giant Gatling gun that's on top of it that they start wheeling out the side. One of them, as they're pulling it, one of them jumps on top and starts feeding bullets into it right away. And as it's enough in the room that it can fire at things in the room, another dwarf jumps on top and starts cranking it up, and then the 2 dwarfs start moving it to face the rest of you, and they start feeding bullets into it, and dwarfs like hurriedly like chugging this crank that's on the side, and it starts to spin up, and it's just waiting for the bullets to drop in. The 6 remaining dwarves in front of you, still in their panic mode, ignore Varel and load up their guns and take their shots at the dragon. What's your AC, Scott? In dragon form?
In dragon form, it is 17 natural armor.
Okay. 17. Wow.
That's what it says. AC 17 natural.
Okay. So I'm rolling 6d20 for all the shots being fired. Plus. Okay, so they take a bunch of shots. 3 of them shoot wide. You can hear the rock as like it connects with the rock and makes these little bursts in the rock wall. 2 of them hit your scales, and you feel nothing. You feel power. They're like little pebbles being tossed at your scales. One of them though hits you right in the gum, where you're like ah, and then the bullet just sinks in there, and it's painful. It's actually a critical hit on you.
What? Damn it! It's like I'm a Death Star. I got a gum in the way. That's a little easy thing to shoot.
So you're actually it shoots, it connects in and inside, and it's just like it really hurts. You take 29 points of damage.
Oh my god!
From the shot.
29. Well, what do I have?
I rolled a critical hit. I rolled double damage dice on a rifle. There's a lot of damage.
Good lord.
It's to the
I
dentist.
mean, you did just shrug off 2 other ones with your hide, but one made it through.
I need to
you
just
have 33 hit points.
I probably just need to write this down because.
Yeah, I'll keep track of it for you for now. So you have
Okay.
33 hit points.
Yeah, because I don't have a way to.
So you've taken 29 points, which is a savage amount of damage.
Yeah, well,
So
it would
you're left with 4 in dragon form.
it would have killed me in human form.
Yeah,
I'd
me
be
too.
Yeah.
I'd be on the floor dead.
Guns. A critical hit with a gun. Not a. There's 2d10, right, for rifle?
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Yep.
Oof, that sucks.
Good rules all around on my part. So yeah, and then Scrolly also starts to run to take cover behind Bessie, which is what it's the Gatling gun that the other 4 dwarves have gone to get. Okay, that's everything. Now it is a Hope's turn.
All right, I'm gonna say, bro, wait, and then I'll get pulled down because we're still tied together from the rope.
Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, so you're
I'm
pulled off.
the dragon.
You're pulled off the dragon, and you're gonna take some fall damage.
Mhm.
I will have let go.
I'm glad. Thank you for remembering.
Well, you
Thank
were tied, so I
Yeah, I
figured-
had it in my
Yeah,
hand.
you were let
so
go,
I was
but
like,
Hope went flying off after Varel. That's you take 13 points of fall damage as you hit the ground behind Varel. You're prone on the ground with a bunch of dust in your mouth from just eating the floor, and but you're not. It's now your turn.
All right, well, I'll reach for my machete and I'll grab the rope and cut in front of me to see if I can cut
Okay.
myself away from the lizardman that's charging.
2 items, so that's your action for the turn.
Yes.
All right. I would propose a. Is it one swoop, or is it's like a cut? Because I would
Oh,
say
yeah,
this
I'm
is
just going to hack down and see if
all right.
one...
Athletic. Let's do an athletics check.
All right.
Actually, make it a
12.
survival. It's like hacking away something. Let's do survival on this one.
12.
12. Okay. With modifiers.
Yes.
Okay.
With the
12,
modifiers.
I think is good enough. Actually, okay. Roll damage dice now, please.
Alrighty. 9.
Okay. So you cut the rope, and it's still tied to you, but you're now separated from Varel.
Okay, cool. And
Yeah,
then
you got-
that's my turn.
And you've stood up, so you have half your movement left and a bonus action.
Oh, sweet. So if I have half my movement left, I'm going to see if there's a rock nearby. Is there something, a structure to hide behind?
There are a few within range. There's a pile of I'm playing No Man's Sky, pile of ferrite. That was a rock. And you can sort of hide behind. Let's say it's iron. It's unrefined rocks that they've hauled up here that are just being stored on a large cement pallet.
I need
Awesome,
that to restore
awesome.
my
So I'll
terrain
Still
manipulation.
trying to get my balance, clamber over
Okay.
to behind the that pile and put my back to it and get ready for my
Okay.
next turn.
Perfect. Nash, you're up.
Okay.
A massive sore on your
Yeah,
in your gums.
I'm super
You're
pissed.
flying overhead about 20 feet off the ground, your form large and imposing as you look down like it's an RTS. All the little dwarves.
I want to breathe acid fire. Hold on, is that what it's called?
It's called acid breath, but it is in the shape of fire. It's just acidic.
Right.
And the dragon exhales acid in a 15-foot line that is 5 feet wide. And each creature in that line must make a dex throw or take 5d8 acid damage. 22 is the average. That's
Okay.
for DMs. You'd roll 5d8 acid damage.
Okay,
On a
and
failed save.
can I do this in a way that's also hitting the what's her name? What's the name of the gun? Myrtle or whatever you said? What is it? Bessie.
Bessie. It's a 15-foot line. Bessie's about 30 feet off to the side, so you either go after Bessie or you go after the pile of dwarves shooting at you.
Pile of dwarves shooting at me, the little shitheads.
All right, so they're sort of in a line facing you, so but you can fly up to 60 feet. Your movement while flying is 60 feet, not 30 feet.
Okay.
So
Then
you
for
can move.
for my
So you
movement, I want to do that. I want to get it within range.
You can. What I would suggest is you're going to fly to the right side of the room so that they're in a line, and then you can shoot. You can hit 3 of them in a 15-foot.
Yes, that's what I would like to do.
Okay, so Stanley's along for the ride. You just hear, whoa. Now he shrunk down back to his normal size. The enlarged spell is over. But you're still able, it's only you that's on him, so you're still able to ride on top of him. Okay?
Okay.
Great.
So,
And you got your
Stanley's
sword
along
out?
for the ride.
And your sword,
a movable rod and ripped up whatever, I don't know, a sword in hand and a movable rod in hand. You go, whoa! And the dragon flies, Nash the dragon flies to one side of the room and You open your mouth and giant green yellow fire just spits down. It's boiling. So it's a dex save for the 3 dwarves.
Okay.
So let me do that first. Okay. All right. And one of them saves, which means they're only going to take half damage. The other 2 take 5d8 damage.
5d8.
So you're going to have to roll 5d8 for each of them.
Okay, for the first one, 27.
Yep. Okay.
For the second one, 24.
The third one?
Third one, 25. Jeez.
Okay, so that one's halved. All right.
And the last one,
it's only 3. It's only 3 you're hitting.
Oh, sorry. Okay, that's it then.
It's a 15-foot 5 by 5 by. If you think of it on a map, it'd be 3 squares.
Right.
In a line.
Okay.
So 25. What's that? Oh, 12.5. Okay, that's so you breathe down hot fire and it douses them. Immediately they're on fire with this green flame that's acidic, and their features just melt from their face as they start to yell, "Ah!" But their face melts over their mouth and it just becomes bubbles. Each of them in their mouths have these bubbles of flesh as they melt, and then their legs melt, and so they can't even run, and they just had these stumps that they're running in flesh in place, and all 3 of them just burn. They don't even scream. The guy who's suffocating that Varel broke, he's still going. He's like, "Ah!" And these guys cannot scream. They just melt into puddles of dwarf flesh. They're sort of stumpy shaped humanoids now that are on green fire.
Good, you ratty little pieces of garbage poop. Freaking hate those guys.
RoboCopped.
Yes, they did. Take that.
So that's some of your move. I'd say that took up about 40 feet of your move, and that's your action.
I'm staying there.
Okay.
Unless, well,
cool.
Yeah. No, can my final action be asking Stanley where he wants me to go? Or where he wants to be.
You can do just a quick little RP.
Stanley, where
Get me within 60 feet of the gun.
You got it. Okay.
All right, and you start flying towards it, and you can reach it. You're within about 60 feet of the gun now.
Okay.
All right, Varel, your turn. 3 dwarves. You just crash landed on one dwarf, disintegrating its chest, and you watch 3 dwarves melt in front of you. The heat is caressing your face, the acidic, stingy heat.
Where's the leader?
He's running towards the gun to hide. He's about 30 feet up from you.
Okay. Have we seen a Gatling gun before?
You might not have. There are machines. There are vehicles. It definitely looks like a gun. I mean, Hope might have known it. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'd identify what that's up to. So I'm going to go after the leader.
Yep. Okay.
So I will.
So
Can I get to him in one move action?
So you are going to run by one of the dwarves. In order to do it, he will get an opportunity attack on you as you run by.
That's fine.
Okay. Is it with advantage because you're raging?
I have not reckless attacked. So...
Okay, so no advantage. And your AC is like 16, 17?
16.
Right? Yeah. So, okay, so as you run by, he goes to try and trip you. He just sort of sees you and instinctively he's like tries to trip and push you, but you're too fast. You just run right past him, and he does it behind you as you leave your blur of speed behind him. You catch up, and you're like running, and Scrolly is running, and you're sort of your shadows over top of him as you're behind him, and you're within range to strike.
Awesome. I'm gonna tackle I want to grapple him. I want to keep him standing up. So from behind, I just want to grab him and kind of pull him so he's, like a snake across my chest, stretched out.
Cool.
Grapple contest then.
Cool. Advantage for the strength. 23.
Yeah, you do it. You grab him just that way, both hands. You give him a sort of a hug that you stretch him out over yourself, and he's 4.5 feet tall. So you lift him up and you've just got him, and you pin him to your body. And he struggles. His hands and feet are kicking as he struggles to run. He's like, panic and fear in his face. You can feel it even though you can't see it because you have him facing outward from you.
And with him grappled, I will say again, left to die, and then lightning strike against him.
Okay.
He gets the dexterity check, but
dexterity save with disadvantage because he is What would grappling confers status? Sorry. People's speed is 0. Can't benefit from bonus movement. Okay, no, you just okay. Is 14 save?
It does, I believe. Let me double check my.
Oh, you know what? That was my last roll. I didn't actually roll. Sorry, it was for the other contest. Does a 13 save?
DC equal to 8 plus your proficiency, so 10 plus your constitution, so 13. So we're good.
He saved then. He hit the target. It's a DC 13.
Oh, because it goes both ways. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
a
right.
DC 13.
Yeah. If something's a DC 13, you roll 13, you're safe. So
Cool.
The light you try and imbue him with lightning in his constitution. He's stronger than you thought. So
And he takes half damage for 1.
Okay. It's just like as he tries to escape. They've been getting electrocuted, everyone. It's fun. All right, Stanley.
All right.
You're on a dragon. It's coasting in, ready to do its bombing run on Bessie, and you're there above on top of Nash.
Time to show you all another little trick I learned from Kotobel Praith. I am going to target the area that Bessie is in, and I'm going to summon forth a bonfire in that space.
Oh,
It consumes the entire 5-foot space it's just created.
nice.
If there's anything that's a creature, they can make a dex save to get out of it. But anything that's flammable burns.
So you're creating a bonfire,
Uh-huh.
magical bonfire. Okay, on Bessie
Yeah.
or on
You said
it's
it has a
5-foot
wooden-
space.
You said it has a wooden base, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
let's burn it.
So you create a bonfire on the space where Bessie is, and this large 5-by-5-foot bonfire just from nothing begins flaming, and immediately sets the wood on the trolley that's being pushed out on fire. The dwarves, dwarves are like just reel back in shock. Like, oh, why? And that fire just appeared there. But they're still frantically trying to get the gun to operate and withstand the fire. Like one of them grabs their sleeve and covers their mouth as they continue to try and do it. The wood's not completely going to burn in the 6 seconds, but it is on fire now.
Is anybody within 30 feet of me?
The nearest guy who was rolling it, he's close enough to hit with something.
Well, let's hit him. I'm gonna throw out diplomacy and say parlay and send it to go stab that fellow.
Make your attack roll.
That's going to be a 17 to hit.
Okay, damage dice.
Ten damage to him.
Okay, you send the sword out, and it flies down and pierces, pokes right in. Where did you aim for? What's the?
What was he doing? What was he up to?
He was moving the trolley to face the dragon.
Let's go right for the knee.
Okay, so it stabs right in his knee, and he sinks into the ground, pinning him into the ground. And he yells out, "Oi! Oi! No, it's no fair!"
That'll be it for my turn.
All right. And so the remaining, how many dwarves died here? Okay. So again, the remaining dwarves have been tracking you that were near Vorel. The lineup, there's 3 remaining. They again take shots at the dragon as they continue trying desperately to down the dragon. Okay. Sorry, your AC was 17, right?
Mine, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, shit.
Uh-oh.
Did you just kill me?
Bo has realized he has made
Nice.
this encounter too hard.
Okay, so you take sorry. Just 1 second.
I have 4 life left.
Okay, so you take 2 shots connect. Hits you one in your ear. You're like, ah, it hurts. It's like bullet piercing your ear, and the shell just feel it. Ew. And another one smacks you in the eyeball. And he's like, ah, and it hurts. And you take 24 points of damage.
Holy shit!
Now, you have 4 remaining, so that brings you to 0 in dragon form.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, that's 20 carried over to your human form. You still have all your hit points from your human form. How many hit points do you have left in human form?
Human form currently 25 of 34.
Okay, so you go to you let go, and you have just enough time to fly down to the ground so that you don't fall, knowing, and your form you start to revert back into human form, and you and Stanley both hit the ground and sort of roll as he falls off of you. You don't take any damage, but you're prone. We've taken the 20 damage from the bullet shots, but your human form is bruised up, but okay. You don't have like bullet marks in your human body, just like these little cuts and scars. You do, if you take 20 points of damage and have 1, that means you have 1 hit point remaining. If you have 21,
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
wait, I have 20.
got-
So hold on, 25. Sorry, so I have 4 left.
okay, so you have 4 hit points remaining. So you're prone on the ground, and you just like you sort of fall into a sitting position, a little bit of a sitting position, like, and Stanley hits the ground, and he's no one's like knocked unconscious, no one takes fall damage, but you hit the ground and tumble. Bessie gets turned around. It is on fire. The bullets start to feed in, and the one dwarf desperately, even though his clothing's starting to get caught on fire, he starts spraying out bullets in the direction where the dragon was. Fortunately, you're no longer there, and the bullets now just loud echoing as the bullets hit the ceiling and burst rock, and rock tumbles down and creates this sort of column of dust and smoke as it fires up into the air, and the bullet guy's like and the guy's feeding the bullets. That's as Scrolly tries to break his grasp from Varel. So it's going to be a grapple contest.
Cool.
He's going to use his dexterity.
$20, not natural.
Okay. So he doesn't break free from you. Last little bit is you do suffer exhaustion now that your dragon form has ended. So I need you to roll 1d4, please, Nash Magrid.
Oh, me? Okay.
Yeah.
1d4?
Yeah. Yes, please.
Okay.
For you, the lower the roll, the better.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, what'd you roll?
A 4.
Okay. You suffered the maximum amount of exhaustion possible.
Shit balls.
So this means you have disadvantage on all ability checks. Your speed is halved. You have disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws, and your hit point maximum is halved. So your maximum is halved. So you still have 4 hit points, but your maximum is halved. Temporarily, so don't go changing anything too much, but you have to rest. You need a long rest now to...
So I'm at 4 hit points right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
But your maximum... What's your normal maximum?
34.
So it's half that now.
So what's that? It's
17.
17 and a
So
half.
just make a little... Yeah. Just say you're at exhaustion level 4.
Okay.
Okay. All right. That's the dwarves. Hope, it's your turn.
All right, I'm hiding behind something. So the Gatling gun is going. The dwarves with the rifles, are they closer to me than the Gatling gun is?
Yeah, they're the closest. The 3 dwarves that just took out Dragonform Nash are
Okay, cool. Within 30
about
feet?
They're within about 30 feet of you.
Okay, cool. So I'll look around. Is there more cover but closer?
No, going out to attack them would leave you into the open room.
Okay, cool. Since they're within 30 feet, I'll stay by my cover and I'll aim my shotgun at the closest dwarf with a rifle.
Sounds good.
With a 13.
Okay, it's a hit. Roll your damage dice.
13 damage.
Okay, so you take out your shotgun, take a moment, deep breath, let out a shot. They're not paying attention to you, so your bullet just smacks it right in the back of the head. You feel it connect, and you see a splat come out the other side. Although you can't see its face, it no longer has a face. It falls to its knees and falls forward, immediately dead.
Sweet. I'll nod to myself, get back behind cover, and start reloading for the next go.
All right, Nash, your turn.
Okay, I'm laying
You're
prone.
sitting on the ground, like semi-prone, and just like leaning, like as if on a beach or something. You fell, but you're prone, but not like lying down. There's you have your wits about you, I guess is what I would say.
Okay, what kind of range am I from the nearest?
You're about 15 feet away from Bessie, which is firing up into the ceiling, and the 4 dwarves are working on trying to correct its aim. There are now 2 dwarves behind you, as well as Varel's behind you with Scrolly in his arms.
Okay. I'm going to...
One of the dwarves has diplomacy pinning his knee into the ground on Bessie, by the way.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna firebolt with all my disadvantages at the closest dwarf.
Okay.
Let's see if I can't cause some damage.
Yeah.
So... Second. 17 to hit.
17 to hit. Okay. It's a hit.
Okay. And
Damage
my
dice.
damage dice. I always forget. 1d10. Well, that's with disadvantage. I gotta roll again, right?
You have to roll two times and take the lowest roll for your attack roll.
Of the attack roll. Yeah, I didn't do that. Sorry.
Oh. So, you get a
So
second dice
10.
roll.
What was the first one? I forgot what I gave you.
17, you said. You
Okay.
said you rolled 7.
So-
I don't know what you rolled, but it was 17.
Okay, 10 is my lower one.
All right, this one misses.
Okay, that's what I was afraid of.
Firebolt misses.
All right. Is there any cover where I can crawl to or anything around me?
You're wide out in the open. The only cover is Bessie itself near you, and there's 4 dwarves on it. So
It's also on fire.
Yeah.
it's on fire. There's a bonfire raging in part of it. Column of smoke. Do they roll their savings at the end of their turn or at the start of your turn?
Who?
For
For the
For the
bonfire?
fire?
For people standing
there's
in it?
only a saving throw if they're in the spot with it.
Okay. I assume you did it on one of the guys. That's why I'm asking, because they should have probably rolled. Saving.
No, the goal was to set the thing on fire.
Okay,
Like,
all right, perfect.
yeah, I wasn't aiming for a dwarf. My thought was burn the wooden base and they can't turn it, or maybe set the bullets to where they aren't firing because they're on fire. That was
Sure.
kind of the goal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I would like to do a
it's
deception.
on fire.
Can I do an action that's a deception?
Well, you did an action. That was your firebolt.
So I can't do a deception
no.
roll.
Not unless you have a feature that grants you a bonus action.
It doesn't, especially in this case. All right. I'm gonna fall flat on my face and hope that they think that means I'm dead. I'm gonna play dead.
Okay. All right. You play dead. You
I'm gonna go,
you spread out, face down.
I'm gonna be like a blood elf male. I'm gonna go and fall on my face.
Okay. Very good. Pharrell, your turn.
Have I seen this? Where am I in relation to everything else?
Yeah, the dragon falling and Stanley and Nash and Bessie are in your eye range. You've run past the line of dwarves, picked him up, and he was running towards Bessie. So everything is happening before you, in your field of view.
Okay. And where's the hole in relation to this?
The hole you flew out of?
Yeah.
It's about 120 to 150 feet back the other way, through the dwarves
okay.
with the rifles.
It's a ways out. Okay. All right. So I'm going to... I would like to... So I got him in my arms. I just want to, basically just fall over on my knees with him below me, just screaming, "You killed Nash," and just start wailing on him as hard as I can.
I like
All right,
this. Helping my deception. This is good.
Do you spin him around to face you, or do you put him face first into the dirt?
So I've got, Oh, that's right. Yeah. So, okay, cool. So I totally just kind of... So I've got him face outwards when we shocked him. So we're just going to go down together, and I'm just going to take the back, grab him by the hair, and just start slamming that skull into the ground, screaming, "You killed Nash."
Okay, roll with advantage.
You killed Nash! It's not great.
You have advantage, though.
Yeah, I rolled both. It's a 3 and a 5, so 11 is the best roll.
Okay. So you get down on your knees. You go to push him down into the dirt. and he resists. You go to make the attack, and his neck stiffens up, so stiff. You go to put him in the ground, and it just stops right before he hits the ground. You go to do it again. This is he's fighting and holding on with everything he has as he tries and smash his head into the dirt. He resists it.
Cool.
His dwarven muscles rippling underneath you. You can tell this is a strong lad.
Then I'm going to use my bonus action, not for the shock, but for the Hungry Jaws bite.
Okay.
Which is a 19.
You won't go down, will you? 19. Okay, well, you definitely have bitten him.
Cool. I bite him for 6.
Okay, so you extend your mouth open and clamp. Where are you biting him?
I would like to bite him on the side of the neck so I can kind of keep my grapple on him.
Okay, you bite down, teeth sinking into and fresh blood juice pouring forth from his flesh as you bite down and have him firmly in your jaw grip.
I keep,
He lets out a scream. He's like, "Oh! F you!" All right. Okay. Stanley, your turn.
All right. The dwarf with diplomacy in his knee. Is he still within 30 feet of me?
Yes. You are prone.
Oh, I'm prone. Okay, well, I'll
You won't
stand
be able
up.
to you won't be able to reach him because it uses half your movement. But
Yeah.
you are within 30 feet.
Okay. I'm just making sure to see if diplomacy is still usable or if it has just become a sword.
Nope, it's still usable.
Well, let's do this. This should be fun. I'm gonna cast heat metal on diplomacy's blade.
All right.
That's cool.
And so
What we're doing, because this is the first time we're using this.
That's cool.
Choose a manufactured metal object, such as a metal weapon or suit or of heavy armor or medium metal armor that you can see. You cause the object to glow red hot. Any creature in physical contact with the object takes 2d8 fire damage. When you cast the spell, until the spell ends, you can use a bonus action on each of your subsequent turns to cause this damage again. It's a concentration spell? No.
it is.
It is?
Yes.
Do I see that somewhere?
I think the concentration is if I decide to keep it going, though.
It doesn't have a concentration tag. Oh, it does.
It
Okay, I
does,
see it.
yeah.
It does. It does. Pardon me.
I think the concentration is to maintain the effect, though. But I don't
If
know.
a creature is holding or wearing the object, the creature must succeed on a con save to throw or drop the object if it can. It has disadvantage on the next ability checks and attack rolls until the start of your next turn. Wow, this is pretty formidable little spell you got there.
Thank
So you're going to cast Heat Metal.
Yeah.
It has verbal, somatic, and material, which you don't need materials because you have your megaphone. You got to touch that, but what do you say? Some magic words? Do you make a magic symbol with it? What does it do?
I pull out the megaphone and I shout magic words that I will determine later and make the sword glow red hot.
Okay, so very immediately it begins, like suddenly, like doesn't take any time at all. It's instantly red hot and smoking, and you can hear flesh cooking because it's in his knee. Roll your fire damage.
That is 9 damage to him.
Okay, so it basically very quickly cooks its flesh and just melts out and hits the ground. Still red hot, and he lets out a howl. He goes, "Ooh!" Let's go. What he's doing? He's like, "Oh!" And the blood just it's like his leg bone falls out because it basically decapitates his leg, and it's cooked. So it's all hot, and his bone just slides out, and it's steaming. It smells delicious, Vorel. It's steaming. He goes, "Woo! Woo!" And he just loses consciousness right there. His leg is like frying with the bone out. There's a bone. There's a bloody bone cooking on the ground, and your sword is red hot.
Okay, this is a complicated question. Am I now within 30 feet of the next dwarf using Bessie, the one who's actually shooting it?
Yeah, you can reach another dwarf.
Okay, we're gonna send diplomacy into that guy's head if possible.
Okay. Oh, red hot too. Does he take 2d8 damage?
No. So, well,
Any
I mean,
creature in physical contact with object takes 2d8 fire damage.
But it's
You
only like a
cast a spell.
flash of it, I think. Like, I think the idea is that it glows instantaneously super hot and then immediately cools.
You
'Cause I
can
don't-
use a bonus action. Well, let's see if you get it in his head first of all. So let's do that.
I think that'll get it. That's going to be, I think, 13 plus 7, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like 20. So it's a
Yeah.
hit. Roll your damage dice for the weapon.
That's going to be 7 damage.
I mean, if it's a concentration spell, so long as you're concentrating on it, the metal's hot. I suppose you can cool it and heat it at will. But I assume it's still hot, so it's going to take the fire damage too. That's my assumption.
Okay. If that is the case and I'm concentrating on it, though, the bonfire goes.
Oh, it just extinguishes since you cast a different. That's a concentration spell too.
It is.
Okay, perfect. Then thank you for.
Although
remembering that.
I don't know if stuff that was flammable would remain on
Stuff
fire.
that's on
but-
fire remains on fire. There's just no raging bonfire anymore.
All right, so I just need to roll again for the fire damage. Is what
Yep,
you're-
2d8, right?
Yep. That's 11 damage.
Okay. So the sword enters. Is it the front of the face, the side of the face,
The
what part of
side.
the
I
head?
figure he's looking and shooting, and it just goes thunk right into the side.
Okay, so the sword quickly pierces metal, cooks bone as it slices in through the head and out the other side like a giant sandwich skewer, just like, and steam billows forth from either side of where the exit is. And you sink it in. I assume it stays in, and his head is steaming. And there's just his look. He doesn't even have enough time to live to let out a scream. His face is just. He just falls over with the sword in it, and his head is cooking. There's a boiling head now on the ground as he falls over. Is this one of the? This is the other dwarf moving the trolley. So the trolley's no longer being moved around. He just is. He's dead. It's so. What's horrific about this is that it's so sudden. There's no scream. There's no pain. There's no life flashing before his eye, and that his head is cooking.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's just this boiling like soup coming, like brain soup, coming out the sides of his head. All right, so the two dwarves that are firing the gun. It's now the dwarves' turn. Unless you wanted to move somewhere, we didn't clear your movement. Sorry.
There's no cover besides Bessie itself.
No cover.
So, yeah, I think I just stay where I am.
Yeah, I feel pretty powerful right now, don't you?
No.
you just cooked two guys.
I'd feel more powerful
with your
if I
cooking
was-
stick.
Maybe when we're not grossly outnumbered.
It made dwarven stir fry just now. All right, so the two dwarves remaining attempt to grab control of the gun and move it. One guy, he's on fire. He's going to take what's the fire damage from the bonfire? It's the con
It
save.
is 1d8.
All right.
It's a. Oh yeah. Well, it's a
Alright,
dex
so-
save normally, but it's 1d8.
All right. So he takes. Roll the d8 for me, please.
5.
All right. So his clothes start to go up in flame. He's like, ah! And he stops pumping the gun. You see, he lets go of the handle. The handle's still spinning on its own. There's still some velocity left in it as he just lets go of it. And he starts, he doesn't know what to do. He just looks around in shock. He's on fire. He's trying to put himself out. He's on fire. And the other guy feeding the bullets, looks on in horror and then picks up his own gun and takes aim. He looks for whoever's been melting his buddy's head, sees you sitting in the dirt. And takes aim with his gun at you, Stanley. Does a 17 hit?
That hits.
Okay. These dice, I should know where they are. I've been killing everybody with them. You take 11 points of damage as the bullet just glances into your shoulder, and you take a bullet right in the shoulder. It shoots you. And he just looks through the smoke, takes aim, fires at you. The two dwarves that are remaining see their buddy on the right fall down and realize that someone's behind them and immediately run to take cover on the same pile of rocks that you are, Hope, but on the other side. And then one of them looks over and tries to take a shot at you, but you're behind cover, so you do get the benefit of cover. So AC plus 5 would be
Oh, 21.
okay, so the shot misses. You feel a bullet as it hits the side corner. Okay, Scrolly is going to try and again release himself from your grip, Varel.
Okay.
Can you make a contest?
25.
Okay, you still have him gripped in your teeth as he tries to struggle free. You can feel flesh tearing. Hope, it's your turn.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna back up around the cover so that I'm facing the two on the ground, and I'll be far enough away so that I don't take any kind of negative effect to my range weapon, my shotgun.
Okay.
And I'm gonna shoot at the first one in the face with an 18.
Okay, so you're running out to try and negate the cover. Did I understand that correctly?
Yeah, so here's the cover. I'm gonna
they
back
have
up
cover
and
too now, right?
I'm gonna come around to where they are.
You're gonna come around. Okay, you're just gonna run right up. Gotcha. Okay, 18. It's a hit.
All right, and that's gonna do 16 damage.
Okay, so you run up along the side. You crest the corner. You see him there, having just taken a shot, and the look of horror and fear on his eyes as you bring up your shotgun. Where do you shoot him?
I shoot him right between the eyes, and I say good night.
You put a bullet right between his eyes, and a big hole sinks into the front, and it's clean. Doesn't break anything, just a hole. Just the bullet goes. You watch it in an instant sink into his head, come out the other side.
Wait, aren't they? Isn't it
And
like
then I'm
shot?
gonna-
It's a whole bunch of little bullets, right? Like little BBs.
She doesn't use pellets. She uses buckshots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's a
savage.
bullet, but it's all right.
So it's. I don't know if you've seen them. They're like the shotgun. You know the red shotgun shells that spread. My dad showed me this a long time ago.
Yeah.
You can buy buckshot. They're good for bears. The bullet doesn't split. It
Oh.
just shoots a big, thick MF or bullet into something. Just a big old bullet.
And that's what she's
Actually,
using.
Tremors.
That's
didn't,
awesome.
Didn't Paul Gross and Tremors have like an elephant gun? He just had these giant bullets. Do you remember that?
Well, which of the
Tremors?
6 Tremors do you mean?
The first one,
Oh, okay.
obviously.
The good one. I see.
Yeah, I think he had the elephant gun. An elephant again. It's just a big. There, make a gif. It's a big bullet.
It's like a slug, then, like a big
My
slug.
huge
But
ball.
my dad called it a buckshot. I don't know if there's other terms for it, but it's just it doesn't because like you use the spread ones for like wild turkey and pigeon, not pigeon hunting, something else. What is it? Partridge. You hunt partridge.
Only in pear trees. Got it.
Anyways, the buckshot enters into his head and just sinks in. Video games don't really. Whenever they do shotgun, they always do spread shells, but shotguns can totally just shoot
Sure.
bullets.
I love it. She's even cooler now
Awesome.
than I thought.
I'll activate the second wind here, and I'll stand there calmly, load up my gun again, and take a shot at the remaining dwarf.
Savage. You do it calmly.
Oh yeah,
like-
there's
yeah.
no rush.
The dwarf just looks at you, trying to bring up his gun quicker than you, but somehow also mesmerized as you calmly put the bullet in, standing right in front of him, and fire again. All right, attack.
Yep,
Roll. 13.
Okay,
Roll the damage dice.
Once again, 16 damage.
Okay, and then just as cleanly as you did the last one, you bring up you reload the gun, put the buckshot shell into it, take aim, and he tries to bring it up fast enough, but he's just not fast. And you see the look in his eyes, realizing that he isn't as fast as you, and his life is about to end. And there's almost a look of begging and pity as you bring up the gun, like from him, you know, like not maybe to you, but maybe to someone in life, some vulnerability and sadness as you bring up the gun and put the bullet in, which ends his life.
And to him, I'll say hello to Katoba Praith for me. And then I'm
that look of sadness remains on his face as he falls over with the hole in his head. Devoid
spit
of
on the
life.
ground. Weakling.
Yeah. Nash, it's your turn. Wow, that's savage.
So
Nash, it's your turn.
who's left? On
The only one remaining was the guy loading the bullets and Scrolly, who Varel has under control. And the guy not the guy loading the bullets. No, there's the guy who's loading the bullets who decided to shoot at Stanley. There's the guy on fire who was using the crank who's trying to put himself out.
Yeah.
And there's Scrolly left. Oh, and you hear the sound of a motorcycle as the guy who initially got Eldritch blasted makes it to the motorcycle and starts driving off, and as he careens out the exit of the mine and into the desert.
Okay. I would like to keep up the appearance that I don't need to draw any attention to myself. I'm gonna stay looking dead.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're faced. Yeah, you can roll your deception roll if you like, or survival.
I could do a deception. Well,
You
my
do
deception was
you
to
can do
make them.
survival.
The deception and survival thing, or any of it was just to make them think I was dead.
I mean, they're outnumbered. You outnumber the enemy now.
Yeah, but I don't have anything if one of them takes a shot at me, and I'm in the open. I don't want to die. Oh, what the hell? No, that's no good. I'm gonna stay where I'm at. I'm not doing anything.
Okay.
He's gonna
Varel, it's your
continue
turn.
a corpse.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be dead.
It's your turn, Varel.
With my teeth in him, I will do my lightning shock. So roll your dodge.
That was 11. No.
Cool. 6 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
And he'll right there, like in his ear, kind of pull back my head, swallow it, get my temporary hit points, and continue my grapple and just start whispering, down the hole, and start walking towards it and dragging him that way.
Okay, so you can drag him about 30 feet, I think. You
Cool.
use an action? No, it was a bonus action.
Yeah, bonus action for the lightning blast. So I will do full movement, dragging him.
Full
towards the
movement,
hole.
and you can use your action to double it, and you can, rush with him in your, you can grapple him and run with him. You can carry him, no problem.
Cool. Then
So
yeah,
you make it 60 feet closer to the hole.
excellent.
All right. Stanley, your turn.
Great.
Varel's got Scrolly under control, it looks like, so the only two remaining dwarves are the ones by Bessie. Bessie's still firing into the air. Slower. It's slowing down as the crank slows down and meets resistance, but it's still firing.
How far away is Bessie from me?
It's about 30, is close. It's an extra 5 feet, and you can get to it. About
I'm gonna
35
use
feet.
Mage Hand to aim Bessie at one of the dwarves.
I love it. I love it.
Taste of your own medicine.
The one that shot me, preferably.
I
We
love
don't
it.
hold grudges here.
Okay. Yeah, you can use it to manipulate it. Okay, so this is an action. So you use the hand to push. You don't have to make any rolls to accomplish this because no one's controlling it at the moment. The one on fire or the one that fired at you?
Ideally, the one that shot me, because this is a brutal death, and I think they deserve it.
Okay, so the hand flies out. There's this ghastly apparition of your hand. I assume you can see this, right? Or is it invisible?
I feel like it shimmers, like Predator style.
Okay. It says a spectral floating hand appears. I mean, we could say it's a little hard to see or whatever, but it's visible. So it's just outside of range, just as it's about to dissipate because it moves out of range. It takes a little finger, goes tick, and the thing wheels around to the guy who just shot you, still going, dunk, dunk, and you just see his eyes wide in horror as 1, 2, 3, 4 bullets just like boom, 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 just enter into his chest and make these giant holes, and he goes, look of shock and horror, and he falls over onto the Gatling gun, soon making this yell, and his body grafts. The Gatling gun sort of sinks in a bit, and then starts moving him, and he starts spinning around on the front of the Gatling gun as bullets fly out. He's just flying, and he dies instantly. And now there's a dwarf spinning slowly on the slowing down Gatling gun that eventually runs out of bullets because the guy's not feeding it bullets. And you just hear click, 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 and then slows to a stop.
And bonus action, let's send old diplomacy into the dwarf on fire.
Okay. Where are you sending it to?
That's going to be a 20 to hit.
Okay. Where is it hitting him?
He's on fire. He's having a bad day. Just chest. Just go for a heart shot at this point.
Okay. It sinks into him like butter. It's so hot that it just, whatever it doesn't pierce with cutting, it melts, and you hear the sizzle of steak frying as it cooks flesh and enters into him just silently and easily, like putting a tenderizer, not a temperature thermometer, into a turkey. It just sinks into him. sinks back out, and it doesn't bleed because it cooks it closed at both ends. But definitely all of his internal organs are not functioning. You should roll your damage dice just to make sure he's dead
Okay.
before I say too much more.
It's not
I assume
a
he's
lot
dead
of
because he's
damage.
already taken a lot of damage.
7 damage.
You roll the fire damage too. It's
I don't think I can because it's a bonus action to send the sword, and it would be a bonus action to continue the fire damage.
oh, that's
And
weird.
I can't have 2 bonus actions.
Okay, we'll have to look into that a little more because I just assume it's really hot, so it has the properties of doing extra damage. Like, why would it take a bonus?
I looked into it before because these were questions I had, and the way they described it is when you're concentrating on it, the heat flares up, but it's just a magical flare. It doesn't hold that heat because it's magical. Once it flares, it's gone until you concentrate and cause it to flare again.
Because it's magical. Okay, so
because
we'll
it's
do the-
magic.
because the short version is because magic.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right, so it doesn't do the 2d8 damage. Still kills him. He already was suffering from fire damage. So, and I still say it cooks him.
Because that's
So
we
he
want to
falls
cook some
over.
dwarves.
He falls over dead.
Is the fire
Alright,
still
then.
going? There's still a fire happening, or no?
No, the bonfire's not raging, but the Gatling gun is on fire.
Okay.
The bullets are dangerously close to parts that are on fire. The bullet belts that's there.
Ugh.
So it might be something someone wants to look at. For now, combat is sort of over. Varel has Scrolly captive, so Varel, whatever you want to
wait.
do with him.
If we're free,
I'll
I'm
run
gonna
after
just
him.
mage hand the bullets a little ways away from the fire.
Okay, you push the bullets away with your mage hand to make sure they don't get caught in the fire, and eventually the whole thing goes up in flames. Okay, Varel, I hope yells after you.
Was there anything else?
Oh, I'm
she yells,
Burrell,
"Wait."
I need to hear something before you throw him down there. And I'm running.
Okay.
I'll turn to run and join them as well. Oh wait, hold on. As I go past old, he was very convincing. I thought he was dead. I will go ahead and cast Cure Wounds at the 2nd level on Nash Magard of the Solar Mines.
Oh man, thank goodness.
Does that help exhaustion at all, or that's a different spell, right?
I don't
Exhaustion.
think so. 7.
Yeah, I'll still be exhausted.
You get 12 hit points back.
Oh, that's all right. That's reasonable. I don't feel so vulnerable now, so that's good.
Come on, we're doing something with a dwarf, and then I run past him.
All right. So how many? Wait, how many more points? How many? Sorry.
12.
12. All right. 16 of 34.
Of 17.
What?
You're at half.
Your hit point is halved. until
Oh,
you-
right. So yeah. So the glass half full is I'm almost full of hit points
Yeah.
for what I'm capable of.
All right, as you guys run, you guys are a bit ways out. Hope is much closer. So, Varel, I don't know how you're reacting to Hope's calls for attention.
Well, maintaining the grapple, and I'm still walking that direction. I just turned with a growl, and he killed Nash.
Yeah, Nash is fine. Varel, I'm pretty sure Nash is fine.
And I'll shift the dwarf around so we're all facing back and look at Nash.
And Nash,
No,
are you
but
still lying
see?
down? You got it.
He's fine.
If everyone's gone, I mean, if we've killed everybody, I'm starting to get up. I'm leaning up on
Okay,
my arms.
all
And,
right. So you can
yeah,
see that Nash is fine then.
Yeah. I'm not still playing dead if they're all gone.
Just
No, you know
laying
what?
there.
Instead, Varel, come over to me close and I'll go, boo! Just for fun. No, I'll get up. I'm up.
All right, as I see him get up, I'll drop my rage and throw the dwarf to the ground. He deserves to fly like we did.
Oh, I agree. I'm not trying to stop that. I just want to hear something from him before we throw him down.
He's coughing.
Interrogate him.
He stays sort of down. You don't see his face. He's face down.
Give him a
on
little
his-
kick in the stomach. And I'll start talking. I'll crouch down to his face, look him in the eyes, and go, now, this could be quick, or this could last a long time. The only thing I want to hear from you before you die, and you're going to die, there's no out of this, is I pledge my soul to Katoval Praith. That's all I want to hear.
Sorry, you want to hear him say?
Yes, in all earnest.
Who the hell is Katobal Pie? What are you talking about, you damn slag?
Start pulling the
Get it.
machete out and hold it up next to his face.
If you're gonna kill me, get it over with. I don't want to look at your ugly mug.
We don't have to kill you just yet. And then I'll kind of flip it around so I'm holding it like this. And his hands are on the ground, right?
Yeah, he's sort of facing hands and knees on the ground, and you sort of enforcing him to look at you, so he sort of looks from the corner of his eyes and says the things that he says.
All right, cool. Then I'll go and stab him through the hand.
Okay. Damage dice for your machete, please.
4 damage.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, 7 damage.
And you see him go, "Ah!"
I'm sorry, what was that? No, still nothing. And I'll pull it out, and I'll flip it to the other hand and go for his other hand.
Damage dice.
5 damage.
Ah!
That wasn't it. Is anyone else want to help? I'll pull it out. Nothing? Flip him over. I'll look to Varel.
Flip him over. Okay.
Ugh. What's happening now?
You flip him over.
But
and he
how
looks at
close
you.
is everyone, though?
He's got his hands at the stand, moves in, and he just looks at you with hatred in his eyes. He goes, "You're all dead."
Are we up there yet?
Yeah, you've caught up. You're all standing in a circle watching Hope perform torture.
Has Varel flipped him over? Have you gone to flip him over, I guess?
You told me to flip him over?
I look at you and I go, flip him over.
Okay, then you.
And I wouldn't do it right away.
Okay, then I'll stand up and I'll kick him over so he's on his back because he's holding it so he's off balance.
Yeah,
right?
he's on. Yeah, he's holding his hands now. So you kick him over. He lands on his back, and his hands are clutched. He can't. They're just in pain, and he has them in front of himself.
Cool. I'll take the machete and I'll stab his right thigh.
Okay, damage dice, please.
4 damage.
Okay, and you just hear he goes, "Ah! Fuck!"
We can end this. You can end this. You have the power.
I'm not giving in to your demands.
I'll just kind of twist the machete.
Ah!
No?
Okay. He just stares angrily. He says, "Just kill me already.
No.
Get your satisfaction now, because when my family finds out what you've done, they're all gonna come for you, and
Stab
you're
him
gonna
right.
As you stab again. He's,
4 damage.
Let me ask you something, Scrolly, before the end of all of this. Exactly how many family members do you have?
Trenchard Oilbeard had 12 sons, and Mabrook, may he rest in peace, left us, but the other 10 are strong, and they'll avenge me.
10 of you, just so I'm sure, is that including you, or is that 10 in addition to you?
Go fuck yourself.
I'll
That's
twist the
include you
machete
to
a
fuck
little.
yourself. Ah!
Now, here's the funny thing, Scrolly. I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on him at the first level.
Oh, this is good.
6.
I know what he's doing now.
9 HP back to old Scrolly.
Where do you cast it?
Uh,
Are you curing? I don't think it's enough to cure all of his stab wounds.
oh no, just a general.
Pick
just
2.
one- We'll pick his calves.
They're already healed. He has a stab wound in his thigh and
Oh,
stab
that's
wounds
thigh,
on each of his hands.
All right, cool. I'll
Okay.
pull it out.
So pick 2 of 3. Did you stab both thighs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 4. So 2
Alright.
thighs and 2 hands are stabbed.
Chicken combo.
I'm gonna cure both thighs. We'll fix the thighs.
Okay, so the thighs, the flesh mends magically and sort of sews back up as if nothing ever happened. But there's blood on the pants and they're ripped where the knife went in.
Do you feel that, Scrolly? That's a balm. That's a soothing end to you, potentially. Your attitude is very much not appreciated. But I'll tell you what I will do for you. I will afford you the very same opportunity that you gave to us. As you sat up here feeling very good about yourself like a little king on top of your throne, and listen to us call for aid and ignore us, I will give you the exact same opportunity, and I'm going to cast Featherfall on Scrolly.
Okay, nothing evident happens, but the magic is successful. He doesn't know.
Now, what I've just done, Scrolly, is I've made it to where you could survive a pretty decent fall. If that elevator was where it should have been, where you had promised it would have been, you would get to live today. But now, you're going to get to reap what you sow. And I can promise you, this spell is going to run out long before you hit the bottom. And I'm going to kick him into the pit.
Well, you guys aren't near the pit yet. You've stopped it. So
I thought we were at the edge of the pit.
very
Not
epic
yet.
what you do, but he needs to be carried to the pit. You're about 60 feet out. Hope stopped him on the way to talk to him.
This would have probably seemed neater if I had just kicked you into the pit right now, but now we're going to carry you to the pit and throw you in. And
Who's carrying him? He looks at you. He just stares at you. With
I'm just
hatred.
gonna stab him in the junk.
Okay. Damage dice.
8 damage.
Ah! Fuck! He's just yelling. He's like,
That's still not it.
You're animals! You're
What,
animals!
Jarrell?
And you'll get what animals deserve. Ah! My manhood! Oh no!
Preach it, brother.
Well,
Preach it.
put him out of his misery. Throw him in the pit.
I'll look at everybody, grab him by the leg, and start dragging that way.
Okay, so you all follow along. It's a sort of sick procession as you guys drag him. There's a line in the sand, and he's just clutching his hands, and he's like, "Oh, my brook, I'll see you soon."
Well, if you want to say it,
Well,
I will. Ketobel Praith, I pledge his soul to you. Right before he's tossed into the pit.
Okay, Varel, you're at the edge. You're
Hope.
ready to toss.
What?
You take the honor from this.
He took the honor from us.
Take off your shoulders, your shoulder gear. You'll be fine.
Sorrowfying. Why? All right. And I'll give him.
Oh, I want you to lean into this. I think Varel feels something, Kyle. Just, I want you to make sure if you want a chance to explore it, you've got it. Otherwise, it's up to you. I'm not telling you how to play. I like what you said.
Okay, so then I will. So looking at Hope, I'll bend down. Start grabbing him by his, basically by the back of the pants and by the shirt to start giving him the heave ho, and I'll be like, whisper to your gods on the way down. Find your people again. Go to your own end, you despicable bastard, and then chuck him.
Okay, so you go to chuck him, and he flies into the air, and then he just sort of stops there, and then he slowly descends, and he looks back, rage in his eyes, and he just goes, "Fuck you and all your fucking ancestors, and I hope all your children get raped, and they're endlessly over and over in the pits of hell. Fuck you, and fuck you, and fuck you." And he's slowly descending, and he's yelling up, and he's like, "I hope every one of your motherfucking beep, beep, beep," and he's just yelling and screaming the whole way down.
We look into the pit as he's.
Yeah, he's just yelling. Now that he's sort of free, at least from you, he feels it's okay to yell, just to let out all of his insults.
You maybe started bleeping him a little late.
For 60 seconds. Oh no, I'm not bleeping him. You guys just tortured a man. I don't care if this is a family-friendly show. F-bomb. This deserves F-bombs. But this happens for 60 seconds. And then all of a sudden you're as the feather fall spell elapses and he begins falling, and his yell echoes into nothingness.
That was a lot faster.
Yeah, you wouldn't hear him hitting the bottom. It's there's nothing remaining.
I'll stand at the pit for a bit.
Well, that was fun.
Hope.
Varel.
He has every right, if his god deems him so, to enter the warm, dirty embrace of his dwarven brethren.
Oh, he has every right, but that doesn't mean he deserves it.
You attempted to send him to some dark pool.
I hope I did.
You have made deals to send people to the piss.
And I'll continue to make deals to send people to the piss. Tobal Pray there's my mom. I will send everybody who works for the principal to him until we kill the principal.
Your mother. And you have made a deal to become free?
No,
How many souls?
that's between Ketobal Praith and I.
Not that I'm a smart lizard, but can I do a sense motive? What is this now?
I mean, if you want to read reading like intuition body language, it would be insight.
Okay.
Your insight into reading somebody's body language or their habitual actions to determine an insight.
You have to say, I'm not a smart lizard, but I know what love is, Daddy.
18.
Okay. What are you looking for?
I want to see if she's telling the truth. How many souls does she need to send?
You want this information privately?
I mean, I'd just be looking at her. I'm not reading her mind, so I guess
It's just that this isn't public information. This is like Varel information, right? So you have Slack open? I'll send it to you. All right. You guys can continue on while I send this information.
I want to make a comment to Stanley. Can I speak? Is that okay with everybody?
Are you asking as Nash if you're allowed to talk, or as Scott?
I'm asking Bo. Make sure I don't want to step out of turn or anything out of line here. So I'm just going to say something to John or to Stanley. I'm going to say, Stanley.
What?
He said he hoped my children would have a terrible fate. He doesn't know. I can't have kids. That's pretty funny. The joke's on him, the little piece of shit. That's all.
Stanley does actually laugh at this.
Oh, good.
That Nash feels that this is important, an important detail to note. But it is a awkward laugh. Maybe he's looking for a little humor in the situation.
There you go.
all right. So I've been staring down Hope, and we've locked eyes. We're having this battle of minds of a sort. I believe you, Hope. And I believe that you have made this dark deal. Perhaps there is a way we can still save your mother. I look to the hole outside. Is it day out?
You look back and you do see sunlight spilling from the entrance. Yeah.
Let us discuss this in the light of day, for I am weary of these cold, dark environments.
But first, we should probably throw the bodies in the pit. Who are they going to believe? The motorcycle man or us?
The
If there are all
motorcycle
these
man
bodies.
saw a dragon. There's no dragon here.
Later on, maybe.
There is enough blood down at the bottom of the pit that if we say the dragon fell down the hole, maybe they might buy it. We
And
have
then
a likely story, but they also could check and see what kind of wounds these dwarves have inflicted. So I'm with tossing the bodies.
The spirits have left these bodies. There is no dishonor in throwing them into the pit further. Merely, I disagree. Perhaps we could work out a brand of sorts if you need to mark them for your dark god.
I like that. We could do that.
Good. I will not hold them still for such a brand,
No.
but if you wish to deliver it, there is honor left in finding your mother. I apologize.
I'll stay quiet and I'll start going to move the bodies.
I'll go pick up two at a time and start walking them over.
You start going to move the bodies and pick them up over. And Varel.
I would like to turn over their pockets as I do so.
Ooh.
Okay. Let's. Mr. Rogue wants to find stuff.
I'm a bard, Bo. How dare you?
You're the only one. You're like you have like an OCD like memory for you're like loot. What do they
Back
have?
in the early WoW days when you didn't get your loot, you'd forget and you were screwed. I'll bet John never forgot. I'll bet you
Rare.
always got it. Yeah.
How many steamy romance novels do you have?
Yes.
So many.
Okay, so you turn over their pockets and you find they might just have these. They mostly have nothing, just little tools on them that would be you'd find on miners. They have their rifles. They also carry these funny little. They're made with leather and they flip over and they have like these badges, I guess, in the shape of a hammer and a teardrop, maybe a drop of oil, something symbolic. It's made of steel. It's like some kind of badge. Looks like.
I'll pocket one of those just in case.
Okay, so I had an oil beard badge. It's an ID badge, I guess, is what it looks like.
Got some old oily rags or anything in there?
They all have, they do have rags, lots of rags. They use to wipe oil from their fingers.
I'm
You
gonna
find
take.
that, and you find
I'm gonna take a shitty little rag with me.
approximately 24 gold pieces in loose change that they have on them
Sweet.
in their pockets.
I'm taking
Just
a
for
rag.
all the bodies.
I want a rag.
Pocket it.
Yep.
While the search goes on, are you throwing the bodies right in, or are you piling them up at the top?
I was just
Varel
gonna
and
chuck one as soon as it got to the edge.
As you
I guess
perform,
it's Stanley there at the end, like I'm patting him down. Okay, you may, and then we.
yeah, pretty much. I think that sounds about right. And as you're doing this and getting the last of the bodies, Varel, you hear a noise. It's hard to make out. There's a passage off to the left of this large chamber that stores rocks brought up from the mines, ready to be taken out. You hear like a noise come out of a wall. It's just a weird sound. Sounds like speech.
All right, then you said there's a passageway, a hole kind of in.
Yeah, and where they went to go get Bessie from.
Cool. So I'll run over to that wall and kind of press my back against it and peek around.
Peek around, you see that there's actually a corridor that goes down, and there looks like what was some kind of like requisitions office. There's this glass pane with a speaker thing where someone might work behind it. You just see papers and documents in there and nothing. But then as you get closer, you hear like a and you make out a voice in Goblin.
I know who it is.
It's saying, "Help! Help! Help! Help!" And then you hear the clanking of metal farther down the corridor.
There's a goblin. Back this way. They
Is
seem
it?
to have a prisoner.
Let's go check it out.
All the bodies are in the pit now, yeah?
Well, the one body that Varel dropped. He left it in the room.
I'll push that into the pit before I
Okay. So Hope's not part of this. Stanley and Nash sort of follow behind. You move closer, Varel, down the hallway, and as you turn the corner, you notice that there's like this gated door. It's locked, It's heavy wood, but there's like bars in sort of, at eye level so you can peer in. And inside you see that there's a number of metal cages, steel bars in there. And inside one of them, you make out 3 figures. There's no light on in the room, though. Like, you can just barely make out that there's figures. It's very dim in there. And you hear, and you hear the clanking of metal.
I will speak in Goblin. Identify yourself. Or identify yourself. Identify.
Lizard King, is that you?
Bok,
is that
Bok?
you? It's Bok. Help, Bok.
I'll run over to the cage and look
All right,
inside.
so the door's in front of you. You go to open it. It's like locked. Like there's a door, and then you can peer into the room with the cages.
Freaking doors, man. Does it take a key?
It has a keyhole in it. Yes.
Do we have a key?
Bet it was on the dude we threw down the stupid pit.
All right, there's got to be like a hammer in the room or something around, right?
When you look around, you actually, funnily enough, you see like a big sledgehammer sort of leaning down at the end of the hall. Someone's tool that they left behind.
All right, I'll throw my shield on my back, go grab the sledgehammer, and stand back, Bok. And start smacking the lock.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Attack roll. Recklessly free my friend. 21.
All right, you send the sledgehammer and damage dice too, please. For sledgehammer, say 1d10, I think. It's two-handed. Plus your strength modifier.
11.
Okay, so you send the sledgehammer into the wood and one of the wood planks, and it just busts right through, Shining style, and you just break the lumber sort of in half, and you have clear vantage to reach in and unlock the door from the other side.
I do so.
You let go of the door, and then you push the door open. And as you bring your, as presumably you have a lantern or a source of light with you, or do we need Stanley to light things up?
If need be, I'll return the lantern back to Varel and prestidigitate.
Yeah. So this all happens very fluidly as you guys run into the room, illuminate. You see Bok. There's a row of cages on either side, steel bars. At the very end, you see Bok standing with 2 familiar figures in the prison with him, and he goes, "Lizard King has returned!" But all he's hearing, if you can't speak Goblin, he's just going, he's excitedly jumps up onto the bars and he's like shaking them. And behind him, you see a very bearded, very 5 o'clock shadow jeweler, Bertrand Mulg, sitting in the cage along with his half-orc buddy, Trigger, who's just sort of sitting there with his head low, snapping. And he says, "Well, you guys are a sight for sore eyes." That's the end of this week's episode.
Yeah. Bok is back. Oh my gosh. By the way, I was watching the chat room during that. Chat room lost their minds. When you started making that sound, they all recognized it. That's awesome. Well done.
I know I can't do any other goblins. Everyone's going to assume it's not Bok.
Yeah, no, that was good. There you go, guys. That was a hell of a thing. Everything in this episode was great. Hopefully we get a nice long rest at some point. Because I'm kind of a
I have
worthless.
to look it up, but I think each level of exhaustion is only removed from a long rest, so you're going to need to rest for 4 days.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
4 days?
That's why I didn't go Path of Fury, because you get exhaustion for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, how else? I mean, there's no other way we'd have gotten out of that mess. Like,
I don't know. You were supposed to do it, but it's just like, look, your arc right now, Nash, is that you've just learned you have this power. It's great, but it takes its toll on you for now.
Yeah.
So if you read the item description, as you level up, the item sort of levels with you, so to speak, and becomes less punishing.
yeah, I get better at it as I go.
Now,
but
it's your first time turning into a dragon. I think it went pretty well, and I think you're going to need 4 days of rest. I think that's pretty fair.
yeah, no, it totally works for me. It's just it's one of those things where you're like,
So here's the fun part.
Yeah.
You can take a long rest, recover to exhaustion level 3. You're totally free to turn into a dragon again once you've had your long rest.
Yeah, but then I got to do it again.
Then you got to roll 1d4, and just so you're fully aware, at 6 levels or more of exhaustion, you die.
Yeah,
You die from over fatigue.
right.
So the tension to kill yourself is there with this, and I think that's funny.
Yeah.
And fun.
Chat room, I would like you to start putting together a pool of how long until Nash Magard of the Solar Mines kills himself with exhaustion.
I was
be part of the
worried.
drinking game or something.
I honestly
Yeah.
thought I was going to die today, the way things were going with lucky shots to the eye and the gums.
Honestly, I rolled ridiculous. I rolled a 20, so it's a crit hit on 2d10, so 4d10 plus modifier.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was kind of hoping it'd be, honestly, when I was thinking about it, kind of hoping there'd be few salvos of shots and you'd be like, haha, I'm a dragon. Like, nope.
Yeah, I was worried I was going to have to
So-
saving throw my way out of a real problem today, but it didn't happen. So that's good.
Oh, about time, because for the first time, I took no damage in a fight.
Yeah!
That was really
Yeah.
Our tank stayed out of
the
trouble.
best part was doing your turns, Varel, just because all this chaos was happening around you. You're just like, I run after the lead guy. Like, the dragon's like melting people. You jump on one guy and go after him, and I just pictured it like this chaos was happening around you, and you were just in the middle
Right.
of it. It's funny.
That was amazing.
That's a good fight, man. Lots of creative deaths going on
Yeah.
right now, from dragon fire to bashing people in the head, holes
like
in
we leveled
people's
up.
head.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
There will be torture.com is our new website.
Yeah, man,
I was gonna
jeez.
say,
Kristen, I love it,
Stanley
but
and
also
Hope. Stanley's got the words. Holmes got the machete.
Oh, we got some.
I'm gonna have to do some research on torture. And
Yeah,
what
me
victims
too.
sound like when you're getting tortured for this game.
I've really got to break their wills.
freaking hardcore,
You
man.
didn't break.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because a
Well,
soul given is much more readily accepted than a soul forced.
Well, thank you, chat, and everybody for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. We will be back with session 26, I think, next week. There's a little bit of confusion about my mom's birthday party, so we may have a delayed show, or it may be over by the time I get here, because it might be an earlier thing. I have to figure it out. But we're trying to make sure we don't not have a session 26 next week. If something weird happens, we'll let you guys know. But for now, plan on it normal time, and we'll keep you up to date. I believe that's all we have. Is that it? That's it. People
That's
should
it.
know
Thank you
thank you for listening, watching, being here live, everybody watching us on YouTube. Thank you, everybody, for details on all of it, including our wiki, the drinking game that apparently is going on every time one of us does a thing. That's also on the wiki. You can find all that stuff at therewillbedungeons.com, and you can follow us on Twitter as well at therebedungeons on Twitter. I think that's going to do it for us. For Bo, for John, for me, for Kristen, for Kyle. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time on There Will Be Dungeons. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com. That's a good question.